right, in this week's lesson, we're going to quickly talk about note values, and then we're going to use a metronome. I often get a lot of cringes when I talk about a metronome, but a metronome is a crucial thing, okay? You have to be in time, and timing is crucial. If you don't have good time, then you'll never be successful playing with anyone else, okay? So it's something you can work on and improve upon by using a metronome, okay? So first of all, let's just talk about some note values. Now I'm going to talk about standard 4/4 time, okay? That means we are using 4 beats per measure, so our count will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And the quarter note's going to get the beat, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 on a quarter note, okay? So a quarter note just means 4 equal spaces within the whole beat of the measure. If we're working off of a 4-beat measure, or 1, 2, 3, 4, if we have a whole note, it's going to take the space of 4 beats, and it would sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. It would take that whole space, okay? Now, if we're using a half note, if we have 4 beats, it's going to take up 2 beats. That makes perfect sense, right? So if our metronome's going 1, 2, 3, 4, a half note takes up the space of 2 beats. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd have 2 half notes in our measure, okay? So a quarter note is going to, again, take up 1 beat. So it takes up a whole beat. So this time for a quarter note would be 1, 2, 3, 4, right on the beat. All right, I hope that makes sense to you. We're going to cover one more, and that's called an 8th note. So if we have 4 beats and we're using 8 notes in that measure, that means we're going to have 1 note on the beat and a note in between the beat, between the first and the second, second and third, third and fourth, fourth and first again, okay? So we'll have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? And that'll be like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you there. If it doesn't, go back again and listen to this and think about it. I'll have a worksheet, a handout for you that's going to explain these, okay? And it's just basic music theory, and it's going to explain each note. All right, so let's get into this metronome thing, because that's what I really want to get into for you. People will get confused with it, but think of the metronome as just those 4 beats that you've got there, okay? All right, so we're just going to get the metronome going first off, and we're going to get used to hearing that, okay? So I've got it set to 90 beats per minute, okay? So think of that as 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And each one of those beats is going to correspond to our notes, and we're going to make it real easy here. We're going to just use quarter notes right now. All right, so we're going to just use quarter notes, and that means 1, 2, 3, 4. We're having a beat, a beat, a beat, a beat. And each time that beat happens, a note's happening, okay? So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it can be a note, a strum, whatever. Let's do it on a strum, all out strums. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so you get the point there, I hope, all right? So now let's do a little exercise here on the open melody string, then the 1st fret, 2nd fret, and 3rd fret, okay? And so we're just going to follow that beat, and we're going to go, oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3, all right? 1, 2, ready, go. All right, now something you want to work on here is you want to work on trying to get it to sound right when you hear that talk, 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 talk. All right, so if you notice yourself going ahead of it or behind it, Don't try to catch up or anything. That's not how that works. You want to just start over and just talk, talk. So if you feel yourself getting ahead or behind it, you can slow the metronome down. You don't want to have it going too slow though, because then it gives you too much time in between, and you will always mess that up. When you're first starting out, have it at a nice steady pace. I'm going to back it off to 80 now, just to show you that. That might be a little more comfortable for you. Let's do that. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so just practice that and work with it until you start feeling comfortable with it. You can do this anywhere with any notes, any strums. I'm just giving you a quick example here, okay? How to just start internalizing that beat. Now, you might want to talk with it. You might want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Sometimes the talking with it will help you. Sometimes it'll mess people up, and it's just kind of like too many things at once, and that's okay. Either way, if you need to just start out doing this, just start doing that and then talking 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So let's move on to doing a half note and 2 quarter notes, which would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be open for 1, 2, first fret for 3, second fret for 4. Okay, let's try that. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, work with that as well. Now I want to work with the 8th note, okay? So the 8th note, the best way to do this with an 8th note is use your back pluck. So your out pluck is you're on your beat, all right? Your 1, 2, 3, 4. And your and is a back pluck. So it's 1 and 2 and, okay? Hope that makes sense to you. So now we're going to do it again. We're going to do the open 1, 2, 3, but we're going to use 8th notes, and it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? Let's try this. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now you'll find that that one was probably a little bit harder for you. So practice it and work with it. Also add in strums, okay? We didn't even get into any of that, but I don't want to give you too much for right now. Right now, I just want you, just stay right here for a little while. One thing that happens is people, vary stuff up so much that they forget the basics, okay? We want to get that timing, that just boom, 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 boom. We want to get that inside of you, right? And it can go into your foot. That's a good thing. You'll see me tapping my foot a lot on every other beat. I usually tap on the 1 and 3 beat. And that's just natural over years of playing. And it helps me to keep time. It's like in me, okay? And that's something you can do. If that messes you up, then don't do it. But work with this metronome. It's very important, okay? Keep it simple with the metronome to start out with. Don't be trying to play 100 different songs using your metronome until you understand the basics and fundamentals of it and can internalize that beat, okay? So we want this to be fun, and we want to keep working on it. You don't need to spend your whole practice time working on it, but obviously spend a little bit of each practice session using that metronome. A metronome is your friend. I know a lot of people hate the metronome, but we need to start a movement of loving that metronome, okay? I don't personally love a metronome, but I don't hate it. I know its use. What I like to do instead, and this I would recommend for someone that's a little more advanced at using a metronome, not an advanced player, but a little more, you've already internalized the beat and can keep good time, then it's really fun to play along with drum beats and all sorts of stuff, okay? So another thing you can do outside of practice is anytime you hear music playing, find that beat, okay? Most of our songs are going to be 4/4 time if you're listening to standard Western music. The second most thing you'll hear is waltz time, and that's 3/4 time, and that's just 3 beats per measure. So that's da 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 da. It's accent on the first beat, so it's 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Instead of that 1 2 3 4. And see if you can hear a difference, okay? And think about a song. If you hear that song and you're trying to tap out the beat and you just can't seem to get it to work with that 4/4, try 3/4, because try that waltz, try that 1 2 3 1 2 3. A lot of your songs are either going to be one of those two, okay? Yes, there are many other time signatures, but that's kind of what you're mostly going to hear if you're listening to just standard stuff here. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've got something out of it, and I will see you next week. Practice, practice, practice.